السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حي الله الجميع. هلو everyone. النهاردة لايف مختلف، هيكون معنا ضيفة هي عزيزة عليا جدا. قابلتها في أمريكا من حوالي 6 شهور، كان في جو ديسبنسا، وحسيت ان هي قصة ملهمة، فحبيت اعمل لها دعوة ان هي تطلع معنا لايف نعرف قصتها ونقول للناس ان دائما في امل. لو غيرنا الفكر كل شيء بيتغير، لو غيرنا ما نشعر به وما نرسله من افكار الحياة كلها تتغير. لازم الحياة تتغير، لان الحياة ما بتقراش انا بقول ايه، الحياة بتقرا انا حاسس بايه وبفكر في ايه. فالاتنين دول لما يبقوا في لاين واحد الحياة تديك اللي انت عاوزه. والكلام ده كل الناس اللي نجحت وكل الناس اللي عملت فرق وكل الناس اللي خفت من امراض وكل الناس اللي غيرت حياتها حقيقية مشوا على اللي احنا قلناه ده بالظبط. يعني مثلا لو انتوا شايفين واحد معاه ترخيص عيادة، اوتوماتيك عارفين انه درس في كلية الطب، اكيد مش خريج زراعة. فمادام شايف واحد ناجح واتغيرت حياته يعرف ان هو وصل افكاره تمام ومشاعره تمام وعارف ازاي يحول افكاره لواقع. فغير كده انا مش شايف ليها طريق تاني. Hello.
Hi.
Hi Kate, how are you? I'm missing you so much. I miss this smile
I'm,
every morning.
oh, it's so good to see you, friend.
Thank you so much to accept my invitation to be with me, with my audience. I was speaking now. I met you in Joe Dispenza from many months, but I just saw you. I felt your soul. You are different. We speak many times. We had a lot of speaking between us. But today, I want first thing I wanted to my audience to know you, to know your story. After this, we will speak about how give some people the hope. You know, some people starting their life, they have everything, and they're losing hope. They can't go forward. Father didn't help me, I don't have money. You know, all these excuses make a lot of persons in very late stage in their life. So I just speak about that. But first thing, please introduce yourself for my audience, for the people first time saw you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, for sharing this space, and for seeing me for who I am. I am Kate. 16 years ago. Well, I want to start before that because my accident is only something that's part of me. But I was born a dancer, a very free spirit, and just lots of life. I, 16 years ago, was in a catastrophic car accident that paralyzed me from the chest down. I really feel like life stopped and started in that moment. And 9 years after my accident, I got pregnant. And I had a miracle child who is
God
now
bless.
6 years old. I carried him in my paralyzed body. I gave birth in a paralyzed body, and I mothered to the best of my abilities in a paralyzed body. And every day we are gifted with challenges and opportunities to live. And I feel like this human experience is always colorful. It can be heavy and dense, and we have that choice to live it, right? And to me, it's just so worth living. Like, there's so much to be grateful for every single day.
That's amazing. You know how many persons felt they are so sad because they are living now? They say, why I didn't finish my life? Why I didn't die? Why I didn't continue this life? Do you know, they don't know how we are gifted every single day. We have breathing, we have soul, we can have new complete story under any conditions. I think this is main topic. We can speak about that today. People lose
Yeah.
hope why I leave? What this meaning? What you leave? You have a lot of chances. I think you are so example for that. Always we have hope. That's correct.
Always. I mean, and that's not to say that there isn't hardship as well, but both can exist. And I was just journaling earlier today because it's been a heavy week. It's been hard, and there have been obstacles and things that I have felt that I've had to fight for. But so this morning started with the smallest gratitudes list, and the first is always that I woke up. I woke up with breath in my lungs. Today, how lucky am I to wake up next to my son, that I have a warm house, that I have a vehicle to get me to where I need to go. It's the smallest thing that, like, you know, there was a time when I was inpatient in the hospital after my accident. I was having a really bad day, hard day, and we were waiting in line in the cafeteria for lunch, and my dad saw my growing frustration, and there was a crying child behind me. I was 21 years old at the time, just had experienced the most catastrophic thing in my life. And I was frustrated and I was annoyed by this crying child. And he looked at me so clearly and said, I want you to turn around and remember this moment. And I turned around and I got emotional. But this little girl was burned head to toe. And he said, someone will always have it worse off than you. And you need to count your blessings. Like, I can't imagine what that little girl was facing in that moment. And she was just expressing how pained she was. And I think that it's important as humans, we allow each other the opportunity to feel. And that we also recognize that we each carry struggles, but someone will always have it worse than us. And you can just start with the little blessings and the little wins, because those matter.
This is true. Whatever we have, whatever we are, a lot of blessing. We can't bless how much blessing we are. We can't account. In our religion, they say that وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. This means God say for us, whatever you try to account my blessing, you will never account it. We can't. It's a lot more than imaginable. Okay, I wanted to know in which moment exactly you change your point of view of life, or you're changing how you think about life, or changing how you deal with the life. Which point exactly in your journey?
There's so many points, Kareem. Like, it is a daily choice and a daily practice to continue choosing me, to continue choosing love, to continue choosing life. Like, just because your perspective has shifted and, oh, you're at this high moment and everything seems to be going your way, does not mean that life isn't going to come crashing down again. Like, it is a daily choice to do that. I think that I've had profound moments. My accident, my choice to choose and direct my own care when I started my agency. Like, I mean, even going back to school, college after my accident, becoming a mother, making choices that I know will benefit my son that might be difficult for me. There's so many opportunities to do that, I think.
This is true. What we can say for the people losing hope in life? Any of us, me, you, any person, sometimes we lose hope. But it's depend on the courage or history or the personality. We go up again. But I want from you advice for person. A lot of person lose of hope. What we can say for them?
You know, I think where it shifted for me the most was of loving myself. And I think as a mother, that's easy for me to see every human as a child. Like, we came into this world as an innocent little vessel that deserves nothing but the utmost care and love and joy and sensation of all that this life has to offer. And when I started seeing myself as one would say God views us, that shifted something. You know, we are all children of Source, the universe, God, whatever you believe in. And that is life itself. Life is in us. And we have that light to reflect onto everything and everyone that we touch. And I kind of feel like it's a due diligence to do that.
So I feel every word. Okay, I want to tell you something. Some persons doesn't know the difference between acceptance, I accept something, or I surrender for something. So please tell some people from your point of view, this not equal. They are not equals, acceptance and surrender.
I feel like there can be a lot of friction still in acceptance, like the word and process of acceptance. I love your Spider-Man mug.
This is with me everywhere, all over the world.
I love it. I love it. Yes, with acceptance, I still feel that there is, it's a heavier word to me, whereas surrender, there's a floating element. Like, I accept the fact that I am paralyzed, that in today's current world, I am very unlikely to walk or run in the near future, but I surrender to whatever is supposed to come from that. And to that has been a river that has taken me to the most beautiful destinations. Like, as soon as you let go, let God, whatever the saying is, life comes to you. You stop fighting for life, and you're gifted this colorful, wondrous world that is all around us. I don't know that that directly answered your question, but it's more of a feeling to me than a definition.
Okay, I like the word of you to look in the light of God inside us. Do you think we must have dark days or a lot of pain or some disaster to find the light of God, or just searching without, don't pass in the same hard ways like we passed in our life? For other persons, don't do it, or it must be darkness before to arrive to light of God inside us. What do you think?
That's an interesting question. I don't think it's a necessity. I think, like I said, like we are born in light. And I think that this world itself, just this human experience, can offer us shadow enough to be able to see that light. I think that it takes courage more than darkness. I think that it takes curiosity and a constant desire. Not a constant desire, we don't always have to want it, but a desire to see beyond what is necessarily right in front of our face sometimes.
That's great. That's great. You think without purpose we can live, or we can continue living, or we can face what is coming? Or because a lot of, do you know how many young guys or persons, I don't have passion for anything. I because I tell always my followers, don't stay 1 minute in your life without why I live. What is my mission? Why God sent for me here? If you just connect with your mission, with why you are living, or why God gives you this life, you will solve a lot of problems. But some persons, you know how many persons I don't have passion, doctor. I don't know what I live. What are created for? What you wanted to talk, or what you want to tell these people about this point?
Yeah, I say that one of the gifts of paralysis has been the slowdown that it has forced upon me, right? Like it takes me so much more time just to get dressed in the morning. It takes more help to do all of the things that I need to do. And I think that in today's society, we hurry so much and there is so much to be done. And it is in that slowdown that I've had the opportunity to find what brings me joy, passion, pleasure. Where am I creative? What am I like building? What do I desire in this world? And I think in those moments of finding your own autonomy and what fills your soul, you find your purpose. And I think it's really a frequency shift, right? Like when you're resonating at a frequency that is dense and heavy and dark and you're pessimistic or not seeing the light, you kind of attract more of that into your world. And I think that when you can lift yourself even just one finger at a time or one toe, you elevate and the world around you shifts to bring more of that in. Yeah, I don't know what my purpose is, but I know that I have one, and I know that you have one, and I know that everyone listening to this has one. And I don't know necessarily that we are meant to know what that is. I think once we're able to feel a purpose of, oh, I did something wonderful today, even if that was just making a stranger smile as they held the door open for you, or you held the door open for someone, like you have left an imprint on the day, which means you've left an imprint on the world. It doesn't have to be this grandiose measure. It's just you do the best that you can every day, and some days are better than others. Someone had asked me how old I am. I am 36.
You look so young, more than me.
You do.
I must take some anti-longevity tricks from you, Kate.
Oh, I have great genes and I'm making healthier choices than I once did. So
Okay, can we speak about your healthy steps or your style of life?
yeah.
Healthy steps, foods, movement, thoughts, meditation.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we met at Dr. Joe Dispenza, and again, I think mindset, heart frequency, breath has been profound for me. Breath work is amazing. Music, frequency healing. I really believe that what you put into your mouth, what you absorb, whether that's the media you're consuming on social media, television, what you're drinking. I stopped drinking alcohol, and that made a grand shift in my life. I try to balance my foods. I definitely have days that I don't do as well as others, but I'm human, and that's okay. Yeah, I think it all counts. I think our inputs really matter, and that really dictates what our inputs and outputs look like, you know? Yeah, music, dancing. I have a great physical therapist. I do occupational therapy. I'm learning how to play piano. I think it's important to always challenge yourself to continue learning and exploring what, again, brings you joy. I just started this podcast that like lights me up, and that is so important to find what lights you up. And I feel so lucky to be able to do it all, you know? Yeah. You gotta crawl out of the spaces where it all feels heavy. And sometimes, at least for me, that has required a lot of help. It's required community. It has required connecting and stepping out of my comfort zone. I've had to overcome the fears of being seen or not being enough to just show up and do it anyway. Yeah.
That's amazing. What
I'm
about your
rambling, I'm
friends?
sorry.
How they support you? Your friends, how importance of friends in your life, in your personal life, because always we need someone in any situation beside us.
Yeah, I feel beyond blessed. as far as my support system, after my accident, I had like 6 of my girlfriends dogpiled on my hospital bed, and I've been so lucky to have such an incredible support system. My parents were so great, are so great. My family members, my brothers, my sister, and that's not to say that we're perfect. Like, there's always things, but I go out with my girls, we dance, even if it's just girls' night in. I'm reconnecting with a healthy version of the masculine, and I'm finding more more spaces to, just connect with myself where I feel safe, and with people who mean something, right? Like, I want to be on the same wavelength. I love artists. I think that it's important to express and be free and weird, like invite the weirdness into your life. And it doesn't always have to be this like perfect social media painted thing. Allow yourself to mess up and like just do it human. Yeah.
We are human, yeah. I like invite the mess. This is so good. We need that sometimes. Not everything must be perfect.
It can't be. Who can
Yeah,
survive in that?
this is true. I know you speak very good, or your knowledge about feminine energy. So I want
Yeah.
to know really what is feminine energy. It's true energy, or it's behavior, or changeable or not changeable. I want to my audience to know about that.
About feminine energy?
Yeah.
So I believe in the dualities of the feminine and masculine within all of us. That doesn't mean gender by any means. I think the divine feminine is the archetypes of like the mother, the nurturer, this energy that holds, I think, to be able to receive, surrender, and have love and light within that unconditional love, like, is the feminine to me. And I feel like, again, it is softness and grace, and we need the divine union to really thrive. But I think so much, that becoming in touch with my own femininity, and that's even the primal side of her, that is ravenous and rage and screaming and getting in touch with nature and my cycle, and it's been potent to my ability to come home to myself.
That's great. Simple. When we met in Joe Dispenza, we didn't speak or we didn't meet like body to body. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think from 2 or 3 days, I was spoke with some friends, deep conversation about the wisdom. I thought, from my opinion, wisdom, when you see the depth of the things. So if you are wise, you will see the jewelry or diamonds under the surface of the sea. So from your point of view, when you meet someone, or how we can, or what happened between me and you first time, we didn't as a body, soul to soul. Even many comment now say we feel your soul. This is not common in our communities, or superficial. Most of people, some superficial, not so deeply in spirituality, but really when we see soul in front of me, or ideally spiritually was in front of person in front of me, everything is changed. I will not care about his religion, about his sex, about his education, about his color, about his speaking, just his soul from God. Is this true, or what you feel about that?
I think that is so true. And I do, I could be wrong in this, but for that, I do feel that you have to have had experience a closeness with death or loss or grief, I think, and that can show up in so many ways. It doesn't mean that you've had to have had a catastrophic accident. That could come from divorce, that could come from death itself of a loved one or a child, or, I mean, an amputation of a limb. Like, for me, I was not in touch with that until my near-death experience. And then even after that, really, it took me becoming a mother and getting in touch with plant medicine, finding spirituality, to really, truly honor and connect with the spirit of life. And I think that once you can hold on to your soul and the spirit of this lifetime, you do connect with others on that same journey. Like, we're magnets. We can see that.
This is true. One question came in my mind. Do you think, or you thought in one moment, God intend to torture us with disease? Or with, I lost from 2 years, my eldest child, girl. He intended to, from point of view, torture you, or he enlight us, or he empty something to give bigger thing. What do you think about that? Because some person read, why this happened to me? Why God do this with me? Why just me do this from God? He not disrespect God or the source, but he doesn't read the message. What you want to tell these people from your point of
I
view?
think that that's a very real and visceral moment that many of us have had. Myself, I was burdened with that question briefly after my accident, and there is a profound shift in perspective that comes from not why did this happen to me, but this is happening for me, for my soul's journey to completely engulf itself in what I am meant to experience on this planet. I have to ride the roller coaster of the ups, the downs, the dark tunnels where you can't see where the hell you're going. Like the saying, God doesn't give you more than you can handle. Although it feels crippling in moments of time, like, we're strong, we are resilient, we are gifted these bodies that are capable of regenerating cells and getting back up again. And again, it's a choice. Like, you gotta choose you, and you gotta choose life. And some days are much easier to do that than others. But as far as God giving us, I mean, it is so hard to fathom childhood cancer or loss and so many devastating war, like so many devastating things that happen on this planet and in this lifetime. But I do feel like it takes a dark sky to see the most brilliantly lit up stars. And to be able to find a way to move through that, whether you need to ask for help or do something you've been afraid of, or even just reconnect with your breath until God itself speaks to you. Like, yeah, I don't have an answer that will fit every story, but for me, there's been a lot of gifts in slowing down and just coming home to my breath and my body. Because at the end of the day, like, even if that's all we've had, I've seen a few comments asking about my support system, and not all of us have that. I know how privileged I am to have that, but that doesn't mean that without a support system, you yourself can't be the support. Because right now your brain is functioning, your lungs are breathing, your heart is pumping without anyone holding your hand asking it to do that. Like, we're power. That is power. That is breath. That is life. And what a gift that is to have. And what a gift that is to waste. Like, don't do that.
This is true. This is true. Describe for us the moment when you touch your child for first time?
Oh my God.
I know this is
Oh,
moment is amazing always.
oh my gosh. It was actually devastatingly way too long. I did have skin to skin contact. He was a cesarean birth, but I had developed aspiration pneumonia,
Okay.
right? It's all a little foggy. Pregnancy was very difficult for me as a quadriplegic. And so I gave birth. I had developed aspiration pneumonia. I got skin to skin for a moment. They took him, and I went over 24 hours without being able to reconnect with him, which is quite a trauma on my heart and something that I work daily to, like, he doesn't recognize it right now. He's 6 years old, but that is something that I think energetically affected both of us. And so we talk about it all the time, actually, that I was yelling at some nurses, I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to see my baby. And that overwhelming, my baby, yeah, was the best feeling in the whole world.
It
And I
was
still get
planned
it.
to have baby? It was planned from you?
Oh no, it was not planned. I don't plan much of my life. And it has been the most unplanned, unpredicted moments that have catapulted me in the best directions. Like,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
true. I want to ask you, what's your biggest wish? All of me and my audience will pray for God to have it.
My biggest wish is for this world to heal in whatever way that means for you, for our planet. I literally have goosebumps. I want healing for all of us. And I feel as though if we can heal our hearts and stop the greed and the anger and the fear, and I don't know how that is done, but I feel like we will heal our planet by shifting our internal frequencies.
That's great.
Yeah.
Another point, when we was children or was young, we had plan. When I become big, I will marry, I will travel, I will work. So I have my own plan. But sometimes in life, we suddenly discover God has another plan. So always we said, why would this happen to me? Or I want to do that, I want to do that. But always, for my point of view or what I saw, always God, whatever you see it hard, you see it so aggressive or so far from your plans, always the God plans is it better for you all over the time. What do you think about that? You have contact with this God plans in your life?
um, I I have been known to scream at the sky a time or two to ask for the manual. I'm waiting for the instructions, and I would like to know what the plan is so that I could more consciously move through that. I know and am a firm believer that we're not meant to know that. We are meant to surrender to what
Even we
this
don't know it.
experience is. No,
Even we don't know the plan, we must surrender for it.
you have to surrender. Otherwise, you're directing the plan and you're screwing up the process because you don't know it. Like, in whatever you believe in, the universe, God, that's the plan. I believe that, like, we may have written it in the stars before we came to this existence, but if you knew it, you'd be more likely to screw it up. So just surrender
It's true.
and let
It's
it
true.
happen.
I believe in that. Yeah, you're screw it. This is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, in many times in our life, we feel we are lonely with our problems, even I'm between 1 million person. between all supporters, with all friends or families, I feel lonely. Sure, you feel this moment, and how you pass it? Because many of us has a lot of persons around him, but he feel lonely. He feels something missed. What do you think? How we can pass this moment?
Wait until tomorrow. I feel that, and I don't mean to, we're never guaranteed tomorrow, but I feel those same things. I'm surrounded by people a lot. I require 24/7 care because of my disability. I have someone with me always, for better or for worse, something I'm super grateful for. But it's also a challenge to have someone here all the time, to be witnessed 24/7. And I have said time and time again, how can I never be alone and yet feel so lonely? And
Yeah.
I will cry those tears. I will allow myself to feel that feeling because it is a real emotion that I am totally worthy of feeling. And I wake up the next day and I'm breathing and there's someone there. Even if there wasn't, I would miss that person being there, which would then cause the reaction to be like, wow, I am not alone. We're never alone, but loneliness is a real feeling. Maybe I would invite that person to ask themselves in what way could they extend themselves to maybe connect with another, whether that's going to a book club or going to the grocery store. If you're feeling isolated, like the smallest step can lead to a connection that could save you.
It's amazing. Do you think this is courage? When I see you, you are so courageous girl. You are so fighter, or we say it like light soldier. Do you think the persons born with this ability, or in the life he can take this with experiences, he got that courage or got this brave heart, or this is light? What do you think in that? What you feel in your story?
I think it can be both. I think you can be born with it. I think that there are people that I've met that I'm just, wow, even children who will just jump off of the highest thing and fearless approach to life. And I think that you can become courageous because of the way that the world has done you, like, or what your life experiences have shaped you into being. I feel that I'm more stubborn than courageous. But I have been told that I am, and I will receive that. And I am grateful for the courage that people see in me. I'm terrified. I am so scared. My social media is very like nothing because I'm truly scared to show up in this world, Kareem. I'm so scared to do it wrong or to not be enough in some way. And learning about like my design and what brings me joy, I have been able to give myself more grace that whatever I'm meant to be doing is where I will find myself. And I have been making it a goal to challenge myself more and step out. And so, of course, in divine timing, you invited me to do this live. And I said, why not? I will show up.
That's great. That's great. I know you give hope for a lot of persons. You
Thank
give
you.
something. You know, some persons without speaking, sometimes just the presence of this person do something. Just the presence. For this, some persons say to me, if I don't have what my mission or why I'm here or what I do in this life, sometimes just your presence between those people, you do something without speak, without do anything. Just your presence is meant to be. Another is spirituality. You know, in me and my audience, we believe in one God, Allah, and we are so connected. This is the way from when we worship God by praise 5 times or live in Ramadan, live the food and fasting. This is our spirituality to connect with our God. What is the role of, in your story, of the spirituality to pass a lot of bad times or hard times, not bad times?
Very deep topic. I respect and honor anyone's beliefs, and I will just share my story as it is because you asked. I grew up in the Catholic Church, and I have some trauma there that I saw some things that didn't seem like universal love to me. And I turned my back on religion, questioning how I could have family members in addiction and how I could have these horrible things happening in the world around me and what type of God could do that. And then I had my accident. Well, before that, even I found plant medicine. I did DMT, which introduced me to God for the first time, and the cosmos and spirit outside of myself. And it was at that point, I think around like 13, 14, I became very curious about religion. I went to friends' temples and was curious about Taoism and Buddhism and just wanting to learn more. And I never really got it until I found spirituality through plant medicine. My accident put me at the face of that questioning, and it was never really a struggle for me. And I think that that is because I was surrounded by support, that I had people to pick me up when I was in those dark moments, and they represented God to me in that moment. I then had a second near-death experience during a surgery in 2022 or 2023, and it was like I saw God, and I was talking to
Can you
angels.
elaborate in this point because it's so interesting for me? Can you elaborate?
Yeah. So I've had two near-death experiences. One was my accident, where I was literally like walking around the scene of my accident. I met my deceased grandparents at the scene. They turned me around and said, "My work here is not done." No words were exchanged, but the energy was there. My grandmother was above me during the healings at Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Wow.
And I think that spirit is all around us.
All the time.
It was so wild. And my second near-death experience was I was in the hospital. I had just had, I was a mom already. I was having a bladder surgery, and I went into respiratory distress. They had called rapid response. Rapid response was not coming. I was on 15 liters of oxygen, and I just was not responding. It was at that point that like this very high pitch frequency came into my ears, or that's what I could hear. And it was almost as though I could see it as well. And it was just very bright white light. And I was going through this feminine embodiment course at the time, and we were learning about the archetypes. And my sister/nurse that was next to me said, "Okay, like what archetype do you need to call upon right now to get you through this moment?" And it was the archetype of the warrior. And I can't say if this figure was God, but it was godly to me. And she was just this divine being that showed me. It was like a movie of the choices that I was making and the relationships that I had and the way that they could no longer continue if I need for what I needed to do in this world. And again, there was no clear direction in that. It was just this feeling of like, okay, like there's something so much greater than me out there that is propelling me forward. And I find that same feeling in the trees. I don't think it has to happen in a catastrophic accident. I have a tree outside that I've very much befriended, and I touch her and connect with the life and like the brokenness and the rebirth and the cycles. And I think that God is all around us, and within us. And I don't know how to tell someone how to find that. It's a feeling to me. And I think that it's also valid to question that.
You felt in this moment you are near of God?
I am God. God is me, and I have God all around me. It is everywhere.
All the
Yeah.
time, not just in this experience.
I think that as a human, it's hard to feel it in moments of pain, despair, question, unknown. So I'm not saying that I feel it. I have to work to feel it in those moments, or at least call home to gratitude and breath, and willingly, I mean, consciously connect to that. But that again comes to choice, which is the gift of being human, and privilege. I feel some are more privileged than others to be able to have choice in all aspects of life. But yeah, to try to remember the faith within the body, if that's all you have at the moment. And even when the body is betraying you, it's still doing the best that it can to maintain the moment that it's in.
I
And
understand it.
sometimes, sorry, I do feel like sometimes the decline is exactly where you're meant to be, because you need to experience that as well.
Do you think the people away from God, they will face harder life? Because for myself, as long as I have, whatever I have hard days or whatever I have strong days or something against me, just I feel I am so near to God, everything become easy, everything become meaningful, everything have a reason. But when I leave this away and go away from God, I feel I'm lost, I'm darkness, I'm lonely, I'm not supported.
I think that there's definitely depth to that. I feel that what I call spirit or faith, I think that is a lifeline. I think that this human experience can be very raw and real and can detach us from that lifeline. You might feel like you're living because you're keeping up with societal's whatever, but like if you're not connected to whatever, and that's not true either. I wanted to say if you're not connected to faith, but you gotta have faith in something, right? Like I had faith even in my youth when I was mad and rebellious and not believing in anything. I had faith in that. I had faith that there was nothing out there that was gonna do
I'm
whatever.
created by something bigger than me. Sure.
Yeah. But I think that that is certainly helpful to have spirit or belief that there is something so much greater than us little itty bitty humans. Like we are a speck of sand on God's beach. Like,
This is true. It's around us everywhere. You know, we passed 1 hour. You
oh my
feel
gosh, well,
that?
I got
I
some
know
time.
the time with you will pass so fast. I want for you just advice for some persons have hard days in wars or in with chronic diseases or with lost some beloved persons. What's your direct message for them?
That you are worthy of love, and that I am sorry for the hardships and moments that you are facing, but there is life beyond the darkness.
Always there is light after the darkness. I love that.
Yes.
I hope for every person doesn't pass the dark to arrive to light, and I wish light for every person. Thank you so much for this time. You can't imagine how much I'm happy to having you today. God bless you and all my love and healing energy for you, and thank you. I discovered from first time I met you, I can't heal persons except if I heal myself, and in the same moment I heal any persons, I heal in the same in the same time, because this is mutual. Not there is no doctor and patient. No. There is two persons give healing to each other. The patient give the doctor give the patient, because this is energy from God. The doctor didn't discover the secret of healing. No. He just energy from God. We give it for people, but in the same moment we take from these people blessed or gratitude or healing for ourselves. I take this lesson from you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And sure, we can do. I invite every person to follow you, and thank you for your soul. Thank you for presence in this life. I hope for you all the best, and all my kisses for your child, and God bless you, and sure we will meet again soon, inshallah.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone, and thank you, yeah, for all of it. You are just a light. You are such a light. We love you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you. All the love.
Bye.
Bye bye.